Sei seguito per curiosità o per farci del male?
In November 2022, I was invited to a ghost hunting mission, actually a paranormal investigation as they called it. I grew up reading this comic book for over 30 years, since I was 18. It's the story of Dylan Dog, a nightmare investigator. I inherited loads of my character traits from Dylan Dog. We're both vegetarian, like horror movies, and aren't social people. The list of similarities is long. You may understand how excited I was when I got this invitation. Although I'm skeptical about paranormal activity, I really want to believe. I don't believe in God. I'm an atheist, and I have accepted that this life we have is the only one at our disposal. Having these kind of beliefs can be said even for an atheist. I'm scared to die, mostly because I know it'll end my consciousness forever. Somehow, haunting ghosts and witnessing paranormal activity may change that and give me hope that life after death is possible. That was the profound philosophical reason that justified my decision to join these people on such a mission. But it isn't the only one. I wanted to be scared. I like to feel scared. That's why I read scary comics and watch horror movies. Also, I'm always curious about extraordinary people, and hanging out with a bunch of ghost hunters was a tremendous opportunity to connect with some. Our paranormal investigation started at 10 p.m. in an abandoned compound, about 30 minutes from my house. It was once a hospital, and the whole compound is vast. It has many buildings and a church where our investigation took place. We were conducting an illegal operation, as the whole hospital is fence protected and access is forbidden to the public. Upon arrival, I introduced myself to everyone and received the brief. I was allowed to use my camera as long as I didn't show people's faces. The other rules were to be discreet, whisper, and always stick with the group. I liked those rules. For this investigation, they used 3 tools: dowsing rods. These sticks work because every animate and inanimate objects have energy fields. When you douse for a target, you tune into its frequency. The response from the rods means you are reflecting energy back to yourself for interpretation. An app, the PSB7 Spirit Box. This app sweeps through local radio frequencies to create white noise. Supposedly, spirits can influence the synthetic noise. The Spirit Box app should be able to make EVP sessions easier. 2 K2 units to detect electromagnetic fields, or EMFs. EMFs are everywhere, originating from appliances, cell phones, electrical wiring, and even the human body. The K2 EMF meter helps measure these fields to identify objects producing high-level emissions. EMF fluctuations are also associated with locations where unexplained phenomena have been reported, including alleged hauntings. Once we reached the church, I was happy already. This place, at night, is striking and spooky on its own, and to me, that alone was worth the visit. Unfortunately, vandals have abused this place, wrecking everything and ruining every surface. Shame on humanity. We started close to the church altar and began questioning the entities around us using the Spirit Box app.
David, per favore, mi puoi rispondere? Sei tu che ci stai seguendo? Sei David, vero?
They are calling Devil an entity they met this same place during a prior paranormal investigation.
Non è David, c'è qualcun altro. Ci potresti dire più o meno quanti siete, per favore? 6. 6, così te l'ho detto.
Apparently, Devil wasn't there, but 6 entities were around us. Then, they asked these spirits to trigger their K2 unit. Before entering the church, they showed me how the K2 worked by letting me get close to it with my smartphone. And it did work. I could see the LEDs going from green to red, which is what happens when EMFs are detected. Side note, they asked me and everyone else to put our phones in airplane mode, as smartphones emit electromagnetic waves that could jeopardize their investigation.
Ci puoi fare brillare il K2? Riesci?
This guy is getting closer to the K2 unit to film possible activity. From what I know, his phone was in airplane mode, like everyone else's. The K2 device was showing a lot of activity.
Ancora il rosso è arrivato?
Sì, sì, sì.
Cazzo, bene.
As a skeptical person, I should mention that I didn't see him put his phone on airplane mode. I didn't want to ask him to let me check, because if he were cheating, I would have humiliated him, and I didn't want to do that. But between us, it was clear that the K2 started reacting as he was getting closer to it with his phone and stopped blinking as he moved away. After the spirit box, it was time to test the dowsing rods. The questions they asked were basic. Are you sick? Are you messing with us? The entity could answer yes by crossing the rods and no by enlarging them. I was impressed with this test. I was watching their heads closely, and I didn't notice anything that suggested they were cheating by moving the rods themselves. I liked that. Other people tried using the rods, but the results were not always as optimal. On one occasion, I left the group for a few seconds. I moved a few feet away from them to get an establishing shot. I felt a cold breeze on my neck that had me shivering with fear, but I guess the hunting conditioned me. After all, it was very cold. The next test was recording the sound passively around us. We sat silently for 10 minutes to capture the ambient sounds. We listened to the recording right away, but nothing of note happened. They decided to visit the underground level, which was scary on its own. They used the dowsing rods and the spirit box again. No significant results were achieved. At around midnight, we decided to leave. It was getting icy. The bright moon lit the scene beautifully around us. We all think we're right about our thoughts and beliefs, but are we? Do we question them often enough? I don't believe in ghosts, but I believe that our differences should not separate us. We should never judge anyone for what they think. These people welcomed me, accepted my skepticism, and treated me kindly. To me, it's more than enough to be grateful to them. I still believe that ghosts are unreal, but I look forward to the day I will be proved wrong.